Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom and my team Ipswich have their pitch covered in snow. So I have not been at Ipswich again today and I'm cheating on Ipswich with my regular bit on the side, which is Millwall. So I have come down to the den and I have just witnessed Millwall 1, Sunderland 1. And I think I'm not the only Ipswich fan to do so today. I can see on my Twitter timeline that quite a few people wanted to go to a game, and Millwall was just a ticket today, 14,000 in there. And I must say, if you're a Sunderland fan, given how poor your team has been, there was loads of Sunderland fans as well. Let me know in the comments how long it took you to get down from Millwall to Sunderland, given some iffy road conditions as well. So Millwall in 12, Sunderland rock bottom of the league. We get quite used to how the Millwall team is at the moment. Archer in goal, Meredith left back, Romeo right back, Cooper and Hutchison centre backs, Wallace on the right of midfield, Saville and Williams in the centre of midfield, Marshall on the left, Morrison and Gregory the fearsome front two. Sunderland, seems like a lot of the division, Millwall won't ever do this, but a lot of the division have now come round to the Wolves 3-4-3 type thing, which means that you can have lots of people down the sides, lots of people at the back if you move together with this system. Steele in goal, so it was O'Shea, Browning and Kone were the centre-backs. Matthews, right wing-back, Oviedo, left wing-back, Catamol and Ejara, I don't know if that's how you say his name, sorry if I butcher that throughout this video, sitting in midfield. McGeady was off to the left, McManaman off to the right, and Ashley Fletcher up front on his own. Like I said, very busy at Millwall today, so it's good that they're drawing big audiences. 5 minutes in, Millwall get a corner and Cooper's left completely unmarked. Millwall, very good avenue for them always, the crossing. He tries to kind of engineer it into the far corner, but it's cleared off line. Very poor marking from Sunderland, I didn't get that. It takes Sunderland about 15 minutes to actually get out of their half and have a bit of an attack. Lots of direct stuff from Millwall as we expect. Not really getting behind, and you'll see the pattern of the game. 3 centre halves, but not the fact that there's 3 of them, but how deep Sunderland played it to stop those direct balls for, even if they did win the first one, for Gregory to run in behind. No space there. Low cross from Matthews on 16 for Sunderland. Fletcher's on the near post, can't get anything on it. That was their first attack. McGeady gets in down the left and Hutchison blocks him out just as he was crossing it. Free kick in from Sunderland, headed out to McManaman. He shifts it to his right, blasts it over. So you can see that Sunderland weathered the opening sort of 10 minutes and then actually came out and got on top. And on 28 minutes, they actually take the lead away from home. So if you're a Millwall fan, you're going to say this is a very big cock-up at the back that leads to this goal. So Fletcher goes down the right, his cross goes in and loops up in the air. So Hutchison's underneath it and he doesn't realise that there's no one going to challenge him. Archer is behind him. Archer kind of comes to get it. And obviously you don't hear what gets said on the pitch, but you always put the responsibility on the goalie, being he can see more than the defender, to say, look, leave it, I'm going to come and catch it. Hutchison obviously doesn't trust this information, or the information doesn't come, and he goes off the side of his head and goes out for a pretty unnecessary corner. Like I say, we can't hear, but from what I saw, that looked like that was Archer's position to come out and, you know, either tell him or come and grab it off him. So Oviedo and McGeady take the corner. Oviedo plays it short to McGeady. McGeady plays it back to Oviedo. He now runs diagonally away from the corner flag, takes on his man, and what a strike. He smashes it with his left foot right into the top corner. I think the guy on the post had just come out as the ball's gone away, but hell of a shot by Oviedo. And although it came from a corner and a cock-up originally, absolutely brilliant goal from him. You know, Sunderland fans, where has that been all season? So the game kind of fizzles for the next 10 minutes or so as Millwall kind of cope, and their fans cope with them being behind. Good pressure from Morris in the corner on 38. Gets across to Williams. Good left foot hit. Still looked a bit iffy, kind of pushed it away a bit sort of spectacularly, and you think that could have gone anywhere, but straight into a foul actually. Deep cross from Marshall. Morrison this time actually gets between Kone and O'Shea for once. It's a floaty cross, so he has to really oosh with the header. That's my technical term for that. And he puts it wide. It's about 10 yards out. So, and that's all there is for the first half. So, my views on Millwall, if you watched my videos before, is that I'm quite a fan. They've been very good whenever I've seen them. They couldn't get it going in the first half. They hemmed them in for the first 10 minutes. But the way that Sunderland played it, two things they did well. They defended very deeply, which allowed, or rather didn't allow, if Morrison wins, the flick-ons for Gregory to get behind, or that just direct counter-attack ball that Gregory's so good at running off on. The other thing as well is because they had wing-backs, that kind of snuffed out the full-backs and the attacks down the side and the crosses coming in. So, yes, you can say very defensive approach from Sunderland and nick a wonder goal, but as I always say in these videos, it's a competition, and Sunderland go in at half-time 1-0 up. Pretty good tactically performance from there. On 46, free kick goes in from Marshall from the right. It's headed out by Sunderland back into Gregory. It's coming down from the sky. It doesn't come down quickly enough. Gregory tries to swing his left footer at it, and he kind of scuffs the shot, and Steele saves it on 49. Marshall goes down in the box. Big shout from the crowd. Not much from on the pitch and the players. On 51, Hutchison, deep cross, looping header from Gregory. Good header by him, actually. I think as it's coming in, Steele presumably thinks, oh, no chance from there, but good header, and he works the keeper, and he has to reach up to push it over. Strong start, similar to the first half. Whenever you see Mill, they always start strongly, and they get this kind of frenetic thing going where they take all the restarts really quickly and do all their turnarounds really, really quickly. So that often happens with them. So strong start. Sunderland managed to kind of take the sting out of it a little bit. They sort of keep the ball for a minute or so. Some good passing. Ejira at the centre of that. He looked like he had a bit about him. On 62, Coleman makes a sub, so Asoro comes in for McManaman. And I think the idea being that Millwall were on top and the ball was just getting cleared and not sticking and coming back. And I think Coleman kind of just thinks, okay, if that's going to be the pattern, I'm going to defend this lead. I at least need the ball to stick up. We're not going to use midfield. So what happens is Asoro goes up with Fletcher. McManaman goes off, and McGeady comes in behind him, and I thought that was quite a sensible sub, actually, because they weren't really using the midfield. It was just Catamol and Ejira kind of sitting in and stopping the attacks. Deep cross to the back post on 67. Great chance for Morrison. He does a sort of scissor volley thing as it's coming down. I couldn't quite tell you which way did it, right foot to left or left foot to right, but good effort by him, gets it on target, works the goalkeeper, and from the corner, Millwall get the equaliser. A little bit of chaos here. So it goes in. The header goes in on goal. There's a big handball shout, and it's Hutchison who gets the shot off. Now, there's a guy on the goal. I think it might have been O'Shea. I could be wrong about that, so don't hit me up in the comments if I am. I've only seen it once in real time. He clears it out, but it seems way over the line. The ball doesn't actually hit the net. I think he clears it out and it actually goes straight back to Steele. But we have goal line technology, and this is probably the 6th or 7th one I've seen this year. Ref points to the wristwatch, which presumably is vibrating or something, and it's 1-1. Probably on the 68 minutes there. Probably fairish kind of result, but like I always say, it's a competition, so Mill will get back in it there. Honeyman comes in for McGeady, presumably some extra legs here, and he sits in that hole there, so it's a 3-5-2 now, I guess you call it. If people comment on these videos and say I've got the formation wrong, however you read that formation. Long ball in, flicked on by Morrison. Gregory gets in behind. Steele's actually quite sharply out. The Millwall fans will laugh. Moves quite quickly for once today, and gets a toe on it and trickles just wide. Saville takes a yellow for a foul on Catamol. Onyedinma comes in on the left wing for Marshall. He moved those two about Harris today, switching sides. I don't know whether that was to cope with wing backs or just to try something different in attack. So Onyedinma comes on the left hand side. He gets a bit of an impact straight away, an attack down his side. Nice little back heel starting from him. Saville gets it on the edge of the box, but you've just got this line of 3 at the back and 2 in front. Hard for Millwall to get through today. Saville puts that shot over from the edge of the box. Counter-attack from Sunderland here on 85. Honeyman plays in. Fletcher, he flashes it across the box. Asura doesn't make the gamble, and it goes across with no one putting in. 87 minutes. Cahill comes in for Wallace, so actually fairly brave here from Harris, I guess, to just get around the front two. I've seen him pull Gregory out for Cahill before, so a reasonably attacking play from him. Free kick lobbed in, Morrison snatches at it and volleys it over. 5 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the game. Finally a yellow for Steele, who was vexing the Millwall fans, going very, very slowly on all these goal kicks. Takes the ref up to 92 minutes though to actually give him the yellow card there. Meredith with a deep cross in. Saville gets something on it, but sort of heads it weakly wide. Yellow for Morrison right at the end for a foul on Oviedo. I would say it was quite a good foul, because you see goals go in the 95th minute and you're like, oh, why didn't someone just take someone out there and take the yellow card? Well, Morrison does. And the free kick, last kick of the game, goes across, and nothing doing for Sunderland. So 1-1 at full time. Narrative of the game, really, Millwall on top for the first 10 minutes. Cooper with a reasonable headed chance from a corner. Sunderland on top for the next 15, and then they get their goal. I say on top, not forcing that many chances, but managed to kind of get out and play a bit. Great goal from Oviedo, smashing it in the top corner from the corner. Have a look out for that one if you can see some footage of that. Millwall then kind of take about 10 minutes to assume the on top position in this game and see out the first half without really threatening too much. Second half starts, Millwall on top pretty much from the start of it. Sunderland have a little bit of a period where they managed to take the sting out of it, but they're really just warding Millwall off rather than actually having attacks of their own. And Millwall get a scrambly one from a corner. Hutchison puts it in. Rest of the game, really, Millwall, I'd say, in the ascendancy. Sunderland with the odd breakaway. 1-1 is not an unreasonable result. If you're a Millwall fan, you'll be saying, well, look, we attacked for most of the game. There was one more attacking team and one more defensive team in this game. But my counter to that would be the way that Sunderland set up. I've seen Millwall a few times, and they didn't really have the space today to play their normal game. As I say, Sunderland's wing-backs managed to create too much in the way for the full-backs to get forward. And Millwall do rely a lot on that really good front two of Morrison and Gregory. And if Gregory hasn't got space to run in behind and Morrison is crowded out by three centre-halves with the direct way they play, that's going to work well. It just depends. I mean, if you're bottom of the league, you're prepared to sacrifice your attacking intent for a point. So I think Millwall will get more joy against a lot of the sort of higher up in the league sides, because they'll have a bit more attacking intent and give them a bit more space. That said, that kind of shows how far Millwall have come in the past few months on this run that they've been on, that teams will now come to the Den and sit back and say, okay, a lot of teams have got beat here. We'll sit back and defend, and maybe we'll smash one in the top corner from a corner kick like Sunderland did. So I can see it from both sides, and I guess 1-1 is a fairish result, given that Mill didn't create that many good chances for all their territory they had today. In terms of star guys, Millwall, I've seen play better than that and be more effective than that. Surprised that Wallace got pulled off at the end there. Morrison and Gregory weren't allowed to be as effective. So I'm going to go back to my old chestnut Meredith, who got forward, worked tirelessly up and down the line and had a good game against Matthews. If I'm talking Sunderland, so with Morrison, you have to play him well on those first balls and Gregory on the second balls. I thought Browning was really good. He was the left of the three centre-backs, and I thought there wasn't a lot getting past him today. Okay, he has O'Shea, who's a wise old head there. Oviedo, obviously, fantastic from the goal. It's funny that Sunderland are so low down in the league. Obviously, there's been a lot going wrong there for a long time. If you're a Sunderland fan, let me know in the comments why that is. There does seem to be some quality in the wing-back positions there. And whatever you say about O'Shea and Catamol and wanting to move on to a different thing, Sunderland would have lost that game if O'Shea and Catamol hadn't been doing all the directing of other quicker, younger players around them today. So, bit of a shame for Millwall that they couldn't get the win and keep pushing up towards that that playoff line. But they've been on a great run, and I'm sure if you took a bigger sample size, they're very happy with where they're at the moment. Let me know if you think I've got that right in the comments. If you're a supporter of either team, Sunderland, can you get above that line? Can you avoid relegation? Or would a relegation actually do you some good? And fair dues to those fans who travelled down. Millwall fans, are you now realigning your expectations? Are you now looking at results like this and thinking, no, we need to win these games? We're a top half of the table team playing bottom of the league. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if I've got it right, if I've got it wrong. Always like to hear from people. Give me a follow on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. More importantly, please subscribe to this here channel and give us a thumbs up. I will be at Sheffield Wednesday v Ipswich on Tuesday night, so I will see you then. Thank you all for watching and see you soon.